A job is a job, but quitting a job is hard. You get used to the day to day, you get close to people, and it gets harder and harder to leave, especially if you like what you're doing, is good at it, and even harder when you like who you're working with. Hi, I'm Kristine. I used to be a brand strategist in New York City, and I recently quit my dream job in New York to move back to Taiwan. This is part one of my journey, the behind the scenes of me talking to my manager and my mentors about my decision, and in the later videos, I would also provide an update of how I negotiated with my company and how I found a job. So this is it, part one, how I initiated the conversation. The weather was so nice all the days that we were there, but then we got back to New York and it rained for like 5 days straight. Funnily enough, I just got back from Barcelona that week, and my manager often visited Barcelona. So we chatted a little bit about how great the city was, how great the food was, before I awkwardly transitioned into a hard conversation. Yeah, so good. But yeah, thank you for jumping on a call with me right after you got back. I actually have some advice that I want your input on. I think so. Yeah, I guess I'll jump right in. So I think I mentioned to you last year or the year before that kind of my personal journey and goal was to eventually like go back to Taiwan, and that's always been part of just my kind of ambition, I guess. There are a few reasons, like my family's there, my partner's there, so I think it's like just it doesn't make sense for me to stay in New York indefinitely. I think I do see myself with a future at it, but knowing that's hard, I've been exploring a few options of what I could do if I were to still kind of do what I want and work, but also be able to kind of balance the wants I have in life. So this is where I come to you with my advice of I've actually received an offer in Taiwan. I do want to stay if that's a possibility, but I know that's a little bit hard. My question is, I think for you, what I'm thinking about, one is potentially bringing it up and seeing is there a possibility of a future where I could work at 𝕤𝕒𝕒 and be in Taiwan? Or second, I don't bring it up now and I quit in a few months. Thankfully, my manager was super supportive of me as an employee. So we discussed possibilities on being able to make it happen. Previously, as many of you might know if you've watched my previous videos, I worked in Taiwan a few weeks at a time every year. So the bright side was the company was very used to me working remotely across the world. However, this was something different. This would mean that I would be across the world permanently and not just for a few weeks every year. So personally, I was kind of pessimistic about being able to make it happen. However, my manager was supportive and saying that it is possible, only if we ask. So let's ask and see if we can make it happen. Yeah, it's sad because I don't want to leave. It's just the realities of life. We agreed that we would try to make it happen, starting with scheduling meetings or sending out emails to my chief strategy officer and my team lead, knowing that I had an offer on my hand and it was a ticking time, but also that it was very hard to get these senior people in a room at the same time. So we were aligned to the game plan and proceeded. I'll see if I can get time with them on the calendars today. If not, I can write that email and CC you. Yeah, well, thank you for your time and advice. Because I was actually on an active project with my chief strategy officer, in the beginning of the meeting, she actually thought that this was what this meeting was for. However, my manager joined, and he was not on this project. And then she started getting a little bit nervous because, as we all know, it is these unexpected meetings at work that usually have a really, really bad outcome. However, I had to assure her that it wasn't as bad as it seems at this moment.
This is nothing that scary, but I'll just get up and say it. So I discussed with Michael this morning. Good news is I'm not leaving yet. So the news is, I think, Danny, you're aware that my family's in Taiwan, my partner's in Taiwan. I have a whole separate life in Taiwan. So it's kind of been hard for me to navigate that, and especially with the new policies coming in. So I've actually received an offer from a company in Taiwan that, but I don't want to leave. So I think that's the premise. I haven't accepted the offer yet. I did receive the offer, but I'm having this meeting because I want to see if we can make it work. I know it's hard and it's not anything that is really done before, but I do really love my team and the work that I do here, and I don't want to leave if I don't have to. So I am kind of here to ask what we could do in terms of how we could make this work.
My chief strategy officer, along with my manager, were both very supportive of my life decision, which I am very, very thankful of. It showed me that we had a great working relationship, and it wasn't just one-sided of me feeling that. Being someone that was higher in the organization, she also saw more. So she also did share additional clarity on the possibility of remote and that not being super high, just being where she is and seeing where the organization has been going. However, she did bring up freelance as an option, which I did not consider before.
I'm open to different avenues because I've said this many times. I love the team. I love the work that we do here. I don't want to leave if I don't have to.
It was super heartwarming to hear that they were not only thinking about options for me in order to keep me at the company, but also thinking about what it would mean for my life moving forward. Freelance, however great it might be, knowing that I would have more flexibility, it also meant less job security. So they were very cautious in reminding me that and assuring that they would be able to try to find all the available options for me moving forward and for us to go on this journey together and finding that out, navigating that with the company.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
Similar to my conversation with my chief strategy officer, it started off rather light with some small talk. Because we were on this active project together, they thought it was about that, as we had many ad hoc meetings for that project. However, when my manager joined, she realized that it wasn't about that, and she also started getting nervous.
Don't be scared. So I'll just jump right in. So I was planning on talking to you and Danny yesterday together, but knowing that you had a fire drill too, so I scheduled it first thing in the morning. So in short, okay, so you know my family situation. My family's in Taiwan. My partner's in Taiwan. It's always been part of my plan eventually to go back to Taiwan. The gist is I don't want to leave if I don't have to. However, I have received an offer from a Taiwanese company. So the conversation I'm raising is there a way that we can make this work where I am permanently physically in Taiwan, but still be able to do the work that we still do? I wanted to start this conversation going. I don't want to leave if I don't have to. So
again, I'm very thankful that they didn't want me to leave. So then my team lead and my manager were talking just to inform each other of what's been discussed so far, which is freelance as an option, remote as an option. And then my team lead mentioned that she would bring it up to HR right away, knowing that I had a ticking time bomb of my offer that I had to negotiate and sign within the next few days.
I think realistically, maybe a week.
I don't want to overpromise and then have to make a decision without knowing the implications.
From the team lead, she also not only said that they would get right on away with talking to HR, she also told me congratulations that someone appreciates and recognizes my talent, even though that potentially meant that if they couldn't figure this out, I'd had to leave. I knew that I would get the support from my team, but I did not expect to hear that.
I know it's not the bestest of news, but I really appreciate both of you. Thank you. Feels good that they recognize me and appreciate me, but I'm so nervous about the implications and the things that could happen. I guess I'm going back to Taiwan.